What's going on, everyone? Design Coleman here. Welcome back. And the gameplay you're watching is me playing some Hardpoint in Advanced Warfare. And I figured I'd use my my Battle 27 in this one. It's been a little time since I used it, but I usually don't use that in Hardpoint. But on this map I do, because it's a little bit larger map, and the hardpoints are pretty big and wide, and so I kind of like to have something with a little bit more range. So yeah, this past yesterday, me and the family, we went out to play some laser tag, and I like to call it indoor team deathmatch. And it was me and my son, my wife, my daughter. Well, we were against my wife, my daughter, and one other person was on their team, and then 4 other people. I think there's like 3 or 4 different teams. There's like a blue team, a red team, a yellow team, and I believe a green team. So yeah, we went and played some laser tag. It's a local place here in Michigan. It's called Zap Zone. So it's a really fun place, and then afterwards, we only did 1 round of laser tag, and me and my son, we dominated in points, but all in all, I mean, I got shot in the back like 22 times. But it was a good time, so it was nice to get out and get away from the games and stuff, and just hang out with the family, which I encourage a lot of people to do. Don't especially if you do have families and you do YouTube, make sure you take the time with them, because they are a part of the whole thing. So yeah, it was great. And afterwards we played some video games. I think me and my son, we mostly played the Jurassic Park game, and yeah, that was a blast. They had a Terminator one there too, but the light guns were just all messed up. The light source wasn't working right, and wherever I was aiming, it was like way off to the right. So either that or I just really sucked at it. So a couple things I want to talk about is one of them is something that is kind of close to my childhood, and I think anybody who grew up back in the 80s is gonna recognize this, and they're gonna know what I'm talking about and how great this was. I mean, I used to get up extra early in the morning, because this show was on so early in the morning. I didn't really have much choice, because I was so into it. That's how much I wanted to watch it. And no, I'm not talking about the Great Space Coaster, if anybody even knows what that is. So if you don't, Google it, you'll figure it out. You can even YouTube it, you'll find it on YouTube. So something I want to talk about is the PlayStation update that came out today. And everything that came in it looks great. The automatic trophy screenshot sounds really cool. The ability to share trophies, trophy information to Facebook, which for some reason I always thought we could do this already, but maybe not. Maybe it was just something I always thought was there and it just wasn't, and I'm a little lost on that one, which it most likely just wasn't there. So the other thing that I'm really excited about is the suspend resume. That to me is like one of the best things coming in that came out in this update, because the ability to when you're playing a single player mission, to just put my PS4 into rest mode and then come back to it when I want to start playing again, and just have it automatically start up right from where I left off, is just great. Don't have to worry about reloading the disc or waiting for the game to reload. It's just gonna boom, start right up from where I left off, which is really, really cool. The other thing that I like is the backup and restore, where we can back up and restore to a USB, which is really nice. And yeah, I know we didn't really have that option. We were kind of relying on the cloud, backup and stuff, which is great. I mean, I had no problems with that. It was nice because I didn't have to have an extra device, sitting on my desk or anything. But yeah, I mean, I used to back up my PS3 on a separate drive, every once in a while, just in case anything went wrong. So yeah, check it out. I'm going to leave the link in the description for this. The only thing that I think a lot of people were hoping for this one was the ability to change our gamer tags, or well, I should say our PSN name. But unfortunately, that's not there, and I don't know if that's ever going to happen for us, on PlayStation. But I'm fine with it. I'm good with the name I have. I use them both. I use the same name on both systems, so I'm really not super concerned about changing my name. Something else I kind of want to talk about is about about your gamer tag, about your PSN name. How did you come about it? The way I came about Design Coma is I was playing, we were playing Graw really heavily. Me and my friend, the one that got me turned on to the 360, and he, in the beginning, his name was Induced Chaos at the time. He's changed it since then. But at that time, it was kind of one of those things where we were never really very silent about anything. If there was a mission to be quiet, we never were. We just went in there. The chaos we created was just insane. So that's where he kind of induced his name from, Induced Chaos. And then for me, it's because I kind of always took a technical approach, I guess a flanking methodological approach to the things I was going to do. So that's kind of how I came about with Design Coma. And the coma has to deal with the fact that I just killed this guy and he's most likely going to be in a coma. So that's kind of where mine came from. I'd love to hear how anybody else got their how they derived their name, as far as whether it's Xbox or PlayStation. I know on Xbox Live I started with the generic one. I think we all did at one time before we created our names. So yeah, I'd love to hear how you guys came about your name. The other thing I want to talk about, which is not the Great Space Coaster, but this is definitely something that was on right around the same time as that, but it's Robotech, and I just happened to be, moving around in IGN, checking it out, to see what's going on, any kind of new stuff, and I came across this article of, Sony acquires Robotech screen rights and plans a movie franchise. Now, if nobody knows what Robotech is, which I know most of my friends do, maybe except for two of them, but I know one of my really good friends, he definitely knows what I'm talking about when I say Robotech. And I'll tell you, this was an anime that, this is when I got into anime. I haven't really been watching anime that much these days. I do every now and then, with my son and whatnot, but back then when I was in school, Robotech was the anime to be watching, if you were into that stuff. There were other different kinds, other animes that were around, but Robotech was just one of those shows that was amazing. It was, to me, it was like Transformers on crack or something. They were just, it was that good for me. And to see this article come out where there's a potential movie coming, which is exciting for me, because Robotech has been something I've always thought about. Not all the time, but there have been times where I've thought about it. So yeah, just one of the quotes out of this is, when the rights to Robotech became available, we jumped at it. Mark and I knew we had what big movies in today's world must have if they want to grab everyone: insane visuals and powerful themes. So this is really, truly something that I'm looking forward to. Transformers was great. I loved most of the movies. There was one that, it was good, but I just wasn't quite into it as much as I was the other ones. But I've loved the Transformers. I loved Robotech, and these are things that I grew up with, and it's just so awesome to see this stuff coming back like this. To see Transformers come back the way it has, and just now potentially see something really great for Robotech. It's just, this is great. This is really nice. Battlestar Galactica, that on Sci-Fi was just great. I love the reboot of Battlestar Galactica. It was really good for me. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I'm going to leave all the links to these descriptions, all the links in the description, so you can go check them out. If you know what I'm talking about with Robotech, definitely check that one out, because I know you're going to get excited about it as much as I am. If you like the video, give it a like. If you want to share it with somebody, please do. And if you haven't subscribed, if you enjoyed this, subscribe, and there's going to be some more. See you in the next one.